All right, I feel like I'm running around my kitchen like a crazy person. As Nikki said, Super C, vitamin C is so important. So our kiddos take Super C every day. It's a chewable, and my 2-year-old takes 2, my girls take 4. If they have a respiratory issue or something going on, then they will up that and take even more. There are also capsules, not capsules, there are tablets. So for adults that can swallow, there are Super C tablets that you can take as well that have a higher dosage to them. But for my kiddos, they use the Super C chewables and they eat a ton of those. So what do you do if you get some respiratory distress going on and you've got some congestion or whatnot? What can you do? So 2 of my go-to oils for respiratory things for my kids, like for Noah, there's Sniffles, which is a pre-diluted oil for congestion for kiddos. So there's Sniffles. It's a Kid Sense oil, which means it's pre-diluted. Then for the rest of us, well, for him as well, we also use frankincense on his chest. Just plain old frankincense is wonderful. Then a little heavier duty, we know about RC and Raven, but then Exodus 2 is a hidden one that gets forgotten. Go look up Exodus 2 in your pocket reference book or on the app. The next one is Dorado Azul. Now, Dorado Azul stinks. It smells. It's very medicinal, but it is super, super powerful. So look those 2 up in your reference books. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them because you just need to go read about them. Sorry, it's backwards, but you've got Dorado Azul and Exodus 2. I think they're backwards to me. All right, now what about a rub? All of you Vicks lovers, you need to toss the Vicks if you still have it. We're gonna make a rub real quick. I'm gonna show you how easy this is. So you're gonna take an empty glass container. You can buy these Pyrex ones at Walmart. They've got fun little lids, but any kind of glass container will work. Coconut oil is your base for this. So as we know, coconut oil is a solid, did that help or that just made it worse? Coconut oil is a solid. So I buy this big old massive thing of coconut oil at Costco. You can buy little jars of it at Walmart, but Costco. Coconut oil is a solid. So how do you mix a rub with this hard substance? So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna push up my sleeves. We want to get your glass container, you want to get it warm. You want to get it hot because that's what's going to soften our coconut oil. I'm gonna run some water here. Hope it's not too loud until I get some hot water because we want to get the jar warm, because if we get the jar warm and put our cold hard coconut oil in it, the coconut oil will soften and allow us to make this rub. Okay, I got some hot water. So now I'm just gonna run that. I'm just setting it in my sink and letting it run in the hot water while I tell you what we're gonna make. Again, we have a recipe, which will be in your reference section for you. But the oils in the chest rub are lemon. Now, in this are both Raven and RC. Do you have to have Raven and RC? It's best if you do, but if you don't, they are so very similar. RC stands for respiratory congestion, as you know. I would say it's the milder of the 2. So if you've tried something, RC's not kicking it for you, then you want to go up to Raven. Raven is kind of the next one. This is not compliant. RC is more for congestion, where Raven is more like if it's turned into bronchitis or pneumonia, or you need something that like has some power to it, Raven is going to be helpful. If you need something even stronger, go to plain old Raven Sara. Raven Sara is a single, but it is found in Raven. So you can just get out plain old Raven Sara if you need to. Also mix in your Dorado Azul and Exodus if needed. Okay. So I've ran this under the hot water, so now my jar is warm. So now I'm gonna take my coconut oil, and I'm just gonna, this is not very, you know, there's not a pleasant way to do this here that doesn't look like okay. So I'm gonna pull out your coconut oil. You gotta kind of dig it out, because it is hard. There's no clean way to do this, it's messy. Do it at the sink. All right. kids just said the other day, we need some more chest rub. Nobody's, I mean, they don't need it, but they like using it. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands now. Now, once you put the hard old coconut oil into your jar, it's gonna start to soften. You kind of have to chop it up a little bit with your spoon. You can't see this, but the middle is still super hard. The edges are starting to kind of melt and soften. So what you wanna do is just kind of chop at it a bit to break up the chunks, and then it will start to soften on you, and you want to stir it until it's the consistency of like an applesauce or a mashed potato. Okay, so see how it's starting to soften on me? Getting liquidy. You don't want it to melt. You don't want it to get clear and melt. You want to keep it cloudy. Like that technical term? Keep it cloudy. You don't want it to melt all the way. So now all my chunks are gone. Now I can stir it, and it's like applesauce or mashed potatoes. You want to get the chunks out because when you put the oils in, you want it to all kind of blend together. You don't want to have any chunks. If you feel like it's not melting, it's still too hard, that means your jar wasn't warm enough. So all you need to do is just run some hot water again, and just put a thin little layer of hot water like in a cup or a bowl, and then just set this down inside of it. Kind of give it a little place to set. Okay, now we're gonna add our oils. There is no, I shouldn't say there's an amount on here of how much you need, okay? But in my world, like I said, we just dump. So if you are doing this for an adult, you'll want more. If you're doing it for older kids, a medium amount. If you're doing it for littles, you'll want a less amount. It's as simple as that, okay? So we're gonna go lemon. All right, so I'm gonna make this for my 2-year-old. So I'm gonna go 5 drops of lemon. 1, 2, 3, that was like 7. It's all good. And then Raven, since it's a stronger, I'm gonna go less. I'm gonna do, you know what, I said 5 lemon. I want more. We're gonna do 10 lemon. Because I'm looking at the amount that I have here. Now if you have a bigger jar, you're gonna want more. If you have a smaller jar, you're gonna want less. Raven, I'm gonna do 5. Come on, I don't have time to wait for you to drip out. You know, you gotta turn it till the little hole, the hole in the middle is not where the oils come out of. We know that, right? There's a little pinprick hole in there, that's where the oils come out of. So if your oils are kind of to the bottom, you wanna turn, all right. When in doubt, just take the little orifice reducer out. We're just gonna go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for good measure. RC, I'm gonna do 5, or maybe 7 or 8. That looks good. Thieves, I want some thieves. So we're gonna do 10. Okay. Peppermint, because he's younger, I'm gonna go less on the peppermint. I'm gonna do 4. You can always add more, right? You can always add more. Eucalyptus. Eucalyptus blue smells awful. It's very, very powerful. It's very good. It's very medicinal. Eucalyptus radiata and Eucalyptus globulus both smell like eucalyptus. I am using Eucalyptus radiata in this one. All right. Have I mixed all those in? I must have. The lids are all off. So it's Thieves, Raven, Lemon, Peppermint, RC, and Eucalyptus. Now, frankincense is not on my printed recipe, but in my book, everything we do needs frankincense. Jeez, it's slippery because it's all gooey. Frankincense needs to be in everything in my book because, well, that's Melrose. Melrose is good too, but doesn't belong here. Frankincense, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Frankincense is so gentle. I will often just take plain old frankincense and rub it on my 2-year-old's chest. All right, now that we have all these mixed in, can you see? Whoops, I'm gonna dump it if I do that. I don't wanna dump my frankincense. So I'm gonna see if I can pick you up. Okay, so now that it's, see how it's super, super soft, and you can just mix it all together, stir in. It should look like applesauce like this, okay? When I get off, I'm gonna really go to town and stir it. But now I have my rub. All that I will do is take my lid, put you down again here. Take my lid, stick it on here. I'm gonna put this in the fridge for like 5 minutes. When we're all done with this class, I'm gonna pull it out. It's gonna be done. It will harden up again. And then once I have it hardened, this is an old one we're almost out of, but once it's hardened, then it'll just stay like this. It's not gonna come out. So at night or when we need this, I just take my hands, rub it around in there, and I can rub it right on my chest. It is hot, it is cold and hard, but the heat from your hands will soften whatever you're touching. So if you can't get it out, just literally lay your hands on it for just like seconds, and it'll soften it up, and then you can rub it right on your feet. We know to put things on our feet. Our feet have the biggest pores in our body, so oils will get to the cellular level fastest on our feet. So this rub can go right on your feet, on your spine, on your chest. It is so, so helpful. You can apply it, like if kiddos really have a respiratory bug, you know, every 30 minutes, be rubbing this right on them. It's super helpful. Eucalyptus, Pam, probably in between the other two. So like I don't know how many I use, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. So I go heavier on like the frankincense and the thieves and the RC, less on the raven, the peppermint, the eucalyptus, and the lemon. Let's see what the recipe says. The recipe, oh see, that's for 2 tablespoons. This is not 2 tablespoons. We use like a cup. So pish posh on the recipe, okay? Dump some in. Do what you feel like you need depending on who that you're doing this on. All right, so there is your chest rub. Hopefully this was helpful to you. All right, off to hear from Amy on the raindrop. Raindrop is a game changer.